Hey guys, we're back on the trail.
Hi.
Today we're at Switzer Falls via Gabrielino Trail today.
hmm
It's actually in the Angeles National Forest, so kind of like by Pasadena, near the San Gabriel Mountains area.
And this trail is a 3.6 mile out and back trail with about 700-foot elevation gain. That's just to the lower falls. We're going to probably be venturing up to the upper falls, which would make it about 5 miles and an extra 200-foot elevation gain.
Yep. So and like we always do, we're gonna keep on picking up trash.
hmm
And as we can see it right now, it gets really busy out here. So try to come as early as you can because the parking lot gets full real quick.
Yes, and you do need an adventure pass. It's $30 for the annual and $5 for a day pass, which you have to go ahead and purchase in advance. So there's nowhere to pay here for that.
Yep. So let's get on the trail and let's enjoy.
Latest. And here is the trailhead to Switzer Falls. We're just going to cross the bridge. So at the start of the trail by the lower parking lot, there's a nice picnic area and plenty of trash receptacles as well as restrooms. Definitely a beautiful place for a family gathering. There's an upper parking lot that does not require an adventure pass, but spots are super limited and fills up quickly. Also, this option adds an additional 1 mile round trip to this hike, and the way back to the upper parking lot is pretty steep. This trail is located in the front range of the San Gabriel Mountains, and it was definitely an awesome drive up since we caught the morning clouds rolling through the mountains. So far the trail is straightforward, just go ahead and stick to the path.
We did lose cell reception up here, so if you're trying to meet up with friends, make sure you coordinate time and meeting spot in advance since you might not get hold of them once you're up in the mountains. This hike is one of LA's best known and popular waterfall hikes. That being said, it is heavily trafficked and sadly, trash is frequently spotted along the trail. Please remember to leave no trace when visiting, and if you happen to have a spare bag with you, we encourage you to pick up some trash along the way. So far, it's well shaded here in the first part. As we walk along this wooded canyon next to the creek, we haven't really come across any mosquitoes, but we put bug spray just in case. Either of these paths will keep you on the trail. This is an out and back trail, and this is considered an upside down hike or a reverse hike, meaning that we descend to our destination and then hike up on the way back to the parking lot. So save your energies.
We're here mid-May and it's super fresh out. There aren't really any wildflowers that we've seen, but there's supposed to be wild blackberries in the summer. Speaking of seasons, which season is your favorite to hike in? Let us know in the comments. Mine is spring. Jaime is more of a fall guy. In this first part of the trail, the path isn't narrow or wide for too long since you actually are crossing the creek so often. Today we have a moderately sized group of friends with us, but if you're trekking with a larger group, it may be more difficult to hike through the trail since it is so populated here. Just walking through the trail so far, I can see why this trail is so popular. The trail itself to the waterfall is very beautiful and lush. I'm sure the waterfall at the end doesn't hurt either. Fun fact, there used to be a chapel named Christ Chapel 200 feet above Upper Switzer Falls. The building was demolished in 1943, but there are still some remains of the stone arches scattered where the building once stood. There's actually an offshoot trail that leads to that site, and although it's short, it's quite steep. We won't be recording that on today's adventure, but feel free to explore next time you visit this trail. In the 1920s, this was actually a resort camp named Switzerland Resort, built in 1884 by Commodore Perry Switzer. You'll come across several wood-burning stoves remaining from the camp along this trail, as you can see here.
At this sign, we'll make a right. As you can see, the sign also references Bear Canyon Trail Campground. If you were to continue on Bear Canyon Trail, it actually leads to Bear Canyon Campground in case you want to do some backpacking. At this junction, we will keep to the right. If you were to venture left, we would find yourself at the top of Switzer Falls. This trail will also lead you to the chapel ruins earlier mentioned. At this point, we start to climb up the side of the canyon. As you can see, it's not shaded, but we get to see the amazing open views. Now that we're higher along the side of the canyon, you can see the clouds that we mentioned earlier. Pretty awesome. Here at the split, Gabrielino Trail continues to the right, but we're going to continue to the left to stay on track towards the Switzer Falls.
And here we're descending quite quickly, so keep that in mind on the way back out. It for sure will get your heart pumping and that booty burning. The trail is somewhat narrow here and not too rocky. It's pretty maintained actually. You'll have to step to the side as you cross paths with other hikers, so keep that in mind. Couple of switchbacks here as we make our way to the creek. Oh, and random side note, I purchased our adventure pass from our local Big 5 Sporting Goods, but you can find the nearest location that sells passes on the U.S. National Forest website. We'll drop that link in the description box. Once we reach the creek, we'll turn upstream to the left. We'll go ahead and cross the creek a few times here towards the end before we reach the actual lower falls. In case you're curious, this creek is the Arroyo Seco Creek, which is Spanish for dry creek. You can tell we're actually getting closer to the falls since there's tons of people.
The first waterfall we're going to come across is Lower Switzer Falls, and it's actually where many people stop. It's very populated, and you may be waiting for a bit if you want to take a photo. Besides that, it's very gorgeous and worth the visit. And we're here! Many hikers don't continue onward to the upper falls, which is a 50-foot waterfall. Reason being, there's no trail and it can be kind of hard to climb along the creek. If you're not comfortable continuing, that's 100% fine. We don't recommend the rock scramble to Upper Switzer Falls during periods of heavy water flow, as the rocks can be slippery and may have algae, which could easily throw you off your footing. Just know your limits. You'll notice it's less populated here and very shaded. It feels so nice and fresh. Unfortunately, there's some graffiti here along the pools. As always, be aware of the plants around you because you never know you'll come in contact with poison oak or poison ivy. And here it is, the Upper Falls. Hey guys, we made it to the end. it was actually pretty nice, and it's not really a struggle to get up here. You know, just be prepared for all the people, and if you want to venture out to the second waterfall, it's a bit sketchy, so if you're not really
Sure-footed.
yeah, if you're not used to that kind of stuff, I just stay at the lower falls, but besides that, it's really nice.
It's really pretty. And also what you want to keep in mind is that if you notice, we were coming downhill, so this is actually a reverse hike. We're going to hike up on the way out, so keep that in mind.
Yep, but either way, thanks for watching, everybody. If you are a new viewer and haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and everybody else, thank you for coming back. And if you haven't done a trail that you want to see on the channel, let us know in the comments and we'll try to make it for you. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.
Later.